Greetings and welcome to Stunthangar Video Hangouts. My name is Charles Carter, and I'll be your host this evening. I want to extend to you my gratitude for you watching Stunthangar Video Hangouts. If you are watching this as a replay, I want you to know that I host these YouTube live streams every Monday and Friday evening, starting at 6:45 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So please make a note of this so you can watch or be part of the live stream. Plus, we have an after party following the live stream, which is sometimes better than the live stream portion. You must be a registered Stunthangar Forum member to find the link to be part of the live stream and the following after party. Here at Stunthangar Video Hangouts, we talk about building and flying model airplanes, sport flying, competition flying, and what you've been doing lately. To join our conversation, if you are already a member of Stunthangar Forum, you can find the link if you scroll down to the section called At the Bench. Now, if you're not a member or if you're not logged into Stunthangar Forum, the At the Bench link will not appear. If you are not a member, please register at stunthangar.com/SMF. That's stunthangar.com/SMF. That's Smart Men Flying, courtesy of Jeff Riley. You must place a space between your real first and last name when you register. You must also use a valid email address or Sparky. The proprietor of Stunthangar will not approve you. If you're inclined to not come in, just enjoy watching us on YouTube, wonderful, fantastic. Please enter your questions or comments in the chat box and over here, and I'll do my best to make your comments or questions a part of the show. And I understand sometimes even I can't get a word in. So be patient, because I will ask our illustrious panel your question or state your comment. And by the way, you only can make questions or have comments during a live stream. So like I said earlier, I host these YouTube live streams every Monday and Friday evening, starting at 6:45 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Now, if you find the Stunthangar Video Hangouts that I host, or the many building videos, Saturday at John's, the contest coverage that Sparky does on this platform, informative and enjoyable, please hit the thumbs up, and subscribe. And when you subscribe, make sure you hit the notification bell and select all so that whether myself or Sparky comes on, you will be notified. Share the videos, comments on the videos, help the Stunthangar YouTube channel grow. Please consider joining Stunthangar's YouTube channel memberships starting at $4.99 a month, which is less than 17 cents a day. And by the way, I'm a member and I have the $4.99 come out of my checking account each and every month, and I don't miss it. And I suspect you won't either. You can also use this super chat over here. There's below the super chat, there's a there's a dollar sign. It's a big dollar sign, and you can donate through that any amount you like. Now, your support helps offset some of the expenses of running Stunthangar, and with your memberships, you'll get special badges that Sparky and I can see in the chat box. You also get access to member-only videos, and once a month, Sparky has a question and answer show for members only. Now, this is Sparky's YouTube channel. This is not mine. I'm only in here twice a week. So if you want to get in touch with me, go to my YouTube channel, which is called Flying Control Line Stunt. That's Flying Control Line Stunt. And place your question or comment on the 2019 AMA National Championship video, which Sparky shot with his video camera of me flying his Junar XL. And I'll receive a notification and be able to respond to you quickly. I want to thank you for your past, your present, and future support. You are making it happen. Please keep the questions, please keep the conversations and the questions family room friendly. In other words, please don't use words or do things you wouldn't say or do around your own children or grandchildren. And without any further ado, I'm going to post the link. I got this here. Let me go over here and post a link at stunthangar.com/SMF. And posting the link right now. So that's how you get into this show. If you're watching this and you would really like to come in, The way to do it is be a member of the Stunthangar forum and then go to at the bench. And I just posted a link there with today's date. Click on that and that'll bring you in right in here. You might need to just allow permissions on your computer to use the microphone and the camera. And then it's pretty easy. Pretty easy once you know how to do something, right? And looks like we're streaming. Let me go to what I call the control panel. Making my way there now. And let's see here. Hope everybody had a good week. You know, it's the weekend, and hope you have a chance to go flying or spend time in your shop. And maybe we can talk about it. Sure would like to hear what's been going on with you guys. And I'll share a little bit what's going on with me. And let me have a couple more clicks and I'll be on it. Looks like we have 13 concurrent viewers. Thank you very much. But only 5 likes. So please smash the like button. That really helps the analytics of the show. I really like to have this show become recommended view on a lot of people's home feed. So that's one way to help do it. Also, don't forget the super chats and the subscriptions and subscribing to the YouTube channel and the memberships. All those to help. Dennis Adamison says, like delivered. Thank you, Dennis. I appreciate that. Jeff Riley says, like sent. And Gary Sinclair says, in with the thumbs. And he has a thumb up. And looks like Mark Wise is making his way in here. Hey, Mark, how you doing?
Hey, Charles, I'm at Triple Tree.
Oh, fantastic. Oh, man.
Yeah.
That's
here with my
great.
buddy, Will Davis, and we're sharing his trailer and having a great time.
All right. Hey, Will, welcome.
How you doing, Charles?
I'm doing well, man. Doing well. I met you at Brodax. You probably don't remember me, but I remember you.
Yeah, I remember you well.
Good. I'm glad to hear it. Yeah, you guys did a bang up job CD in the Brodax. I was really impressed. It was the biggest contest at that point in my life, and I was just amazed how well you guys did in tandem. Let me say hi to Gary. Hey, Gary. Thanks for coming in, Gary.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I cut you off, Will. What was you saying?
I said, thanks for the compliment. It's a lot of fun running it.
Oh, yeah, I bet. It looked like you was having fun running it. And I know you're at a hotel, so your bandwidth is not the greatest, as you probably would suspect, right, Mark?
Yeah.
Yeah, so let's see here.
We'll do our best.
Yeah, I'm glad you guys are here. So I appreciate it. Just one second. Let me see what's going on the control panel. Let's see here. There we go. All right. So looks like we're up to 8 likes. We have 14 concurrent viewers. Please smash that like button. And Jack Snavely, he says, hi guys and sisters and others. Ha ha ha, just playing. And he has some airplane stickers and a peace sign. So he's like, don't hurt me. And a globe there, I see. So thank you, Jack, for coming in. And so I went flying today. Anybody else do any flying?
Yeah, we did.
Oh, good. Did you finish your SV11?
No, I brought. No,
okay.
I'll see if I can show you this.
All right.
But let me see if I can turn this around. You can see it. Can
you
see that P-47?
Yeah. Oh, that looks pretty.
That's Bill. That's one of Bill Wareridge's 3 that he made for the World Championship.
Wow.
It has 3,000 flights. I got it from Bob Hunt, and we flew it. Will and a friend flew it yesterday, and today I got my first flight on it, and it's just an amazing airplane.
Oh wow, that is so neat. And I imagine it's extremely light, correct?
Oh, unbelievably light.
Wow. Yeah, I would like to know how. I'm not sure if this is a plane or not, but I know that Bill Werbridge has actually changed lead outs on some of his planes.
Yes, he did it on this too.
I'm trying to figure out, how do you do that?
I don't know. Bob doesn't know either. So I need to find out how we did that.
Yeah, I would like to have him just come explain that. That'd be an interesting show and tell.
Yeah, it would.
It definitely would be. Let me say hi to everybody else who's come in. Hang on a second. I gotta get rid of this. Oh, there it is. There we go. Okay, so hey, Bob Gore, thanks for coming in. I appreciate it. And Stuart, thank you for coming in. And Mark Gerber, thank you for coming in.
Guys.
And look at Caffeine. He's actually driving.
Yeah.
I mean, he's driving his car
With my Banshee.
with your Banshee.
Yeah,
Very
I'm going
good.
to flying field.
You're going to your flying field?
Yes.
Wow, that is amazing. Just by the way, Caffeine is in Indonesia, right? Caffeine?
Yes, you're right.
In Indonesia. So he's going flying. So yeah, this is amazing. We have this technology. He's actually driving too. I think that's even amazing itself. He's driving and he's on the show and he's going flying. Yeah, I'm ready to go flying again. I went flying earlier today, so I wish I was out going on flying, but it's kind of dark out here now.
Yeah. It's Saturday morning already in Indonesia.
Oh, it's Saturday morning? Oh, okay.
Yep.
Yeah, I got fine here.
Oh, okay.
Wow, that's amazing. Well, thank you so much for tuning in. That goes to show me how important our show is to you, Caffeine. I appreciate that.
Yeah. Yep. Thank you.
You're welcome. So anybody doing any flying? Anybody else besides me? And Caffeine's going flying. How about you, Mark? You went flying?
Yeah, my SV11.
Oh, very cool. So how did it go?
Good. It's running really good with that Super Tiger 60 in it. It's getting better and better all the time.
Yes, I've seen a couple of SV11s with I saw one with an Evolution 61. A friend of mine was flying, and then he had a second one, and the last one he put a Super Tiger 51 in it, and both engines look great in that airframe. I imagine the Super Tiger 60 would be really a good fit. Also, plenty of power.
Yeah, I've been using it as an engine test bed for my upcoming Bearcat,
Yeah.
which is what the 60 is going to end up in.
Okay. Now, is this a Arabi Bearcat or just another Bearcat?
No, it's a Raby Bearcat 3.
Oh, very good. Very good. Yeah, I've seen some Bearcats. They're nice looking airplanes. I've seen Keith Trossels and I've seen Dave Sabon. He had one. I think he gave it to or traded it to trying to remember who has it now. I'm not sure if it's John Wright or somebody else.
You're listening to yours? Okay.
So how about you, Bob? Gore, did you go flying?
I did. I got in 3 flights today on my Pathfinder. It was a good time. Everything's working out pretty well on it now.
Very, very good.
Yeah.
Very good. So you making any progress on the sun pattern?
Yeah, I've been working at getting the airplane slowed down, and that's been helping me a lot. And yeah, it's coming together pretty well. Nothing like you guys could fly, but I'm doing the whole pattern now, and people can tell what it is I'm doing.
Hey, that's very good, because I think the judges supposed to judge shapes and then sizes and tops and bottoms and intersections, but shapes are very, very important. So if you're flying recognizable shapes, that's pretty good.
That's the start anyway. Yeah.
So what did you slow your lap time down to?
I got it down. I think it's like 5.3, something like that.
Oh, that's a real nice, comfortable.
Yeah.
That's a real nice.
The motor seems to be enjoying it, and there's a pretty healthy looking exhaust trail. It's probably staying cool like it should. Seems to be fine.
Oh, that's great. So, Stuart, have you done any flying, Stuart? You're muted.
Yeah, I have this week. Yeah. My combat, and I learned the cloverleaf on it.
Oh, really? Oh,
Yeah.
fantastic.
So I smucked it a couple of times, but replaced the prop and kept going.
Yeah, very good. That's a nice maneuver. I liked it that you're just there, and I was a combat plane. You know, I've just done that to just stand there and just done that the whole time. Just kept doing it one after another. It's just very relaxing just to do that, you know, with a combat plane, and I have to turn around.
Yeah. So
Let me say hi and to Keith Trossel. Thank you for coming in, Keith.
Yeah,
And also thank you, Dennis Adamison, for coming in. And thank you for the likes. Appreciate that. So I was asking everybody, have they done any flying? And Keith, did you do any flying this week, Keith?
no, but I started painting my chiseler again.
Oh, very good.
I need to get it finished in this next couple of weeks, so I'm behind.
Are you hoping to bring that to Las Vegas?
Yeah,
Wow, very good.
maybe have it flown even.
Hopefully you have it flown. Hope you have a flight on it before your official flight.
Yeah,
Hey, if it wasn't for the last minute, nothing would get done, right?
right.
Yeah.
That's right.
I can attest to that, I tell you.
Yeah, that's it.
So Dennis, how about you? Did you go flying anytime this week? This last
Yeah,
several?
I went out Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday.
Oh,
So
wow.
it was all after last week. I had put everything away, expecting that was the end of, end of our good weather and the end of our flying. And then we had 3 gorgeous days and dragged everything out. So I had a real good time this week. So
That is good. That is good.
So now I switched gears and I have moved the top 2 or 3 layers off the workbench so I can actually see the bench again and start getting ready to try to build something. So
Great. I can relate to that, having to take off layers off your bench.
Yeah.
yep.
that's it.
So I went flying today, and what happened was the night before, I had these trim tabs on each wing panel, one opposite of the other, and I had them taped on. And then when I was loading my plane or unloading it at the field yesterday, I knocked off one of the trim tabs. So I said, I might as well just glue these things on. So way I glued it, I actually was flipping the plane over to do one side and the other side. And make a long story short, I glued both trim tabs up. So I'm out there flying today, and I'm like, whose airplane is this? I was like, it was just flying so strange. It was like turning so quick insides and slow outsides. And I was like going, because what all I remember doing was replacing the, of course, I put some color trim on the underside of the plane. I've shared my pictures of my plane on different social media. So, and then I also resealed the hinge lines. And so I'm just flying, how can resealing the hinge lines make the plane fly so weird? I had forgotten about gluing the trim tabs, and I just assumed I glued them on correctly. So when I finally realized my error, I was like, oh man, no wonder it's been flying. And I already started to adjust to start to trim that out. And I was like upset about doing that. I was at the point of, I pinned the date on the calendar and no more trimming, just flying patterns was my plan until the contest. So I was just like, what is up? So kind of a crazy day, but I'm glad I figured out before I left the field what the problem was. I saw the trim tab were both deflected up. So I put one upside down, basically. They're clear acetate, the ones that I'm using, and they were just taped on, but I glued them on with canopy glue, and I cleaned the surfaces really good the night before and really did a good glue up. It seems like when I do a really good glue up, I really do a really good glue up, but it's usually wrong. So that's the adventures of me. If it happens to you, trust me, it happens to me and maybe others too. So frustrating. So So now this is what I'm gonna be doing this weekend is try to remove the trim tab that was glued up on very good. So anyways, I'm glad everybody's here. We have 22 concurrent viewers.
Wow.
Very good. But we only have 9 likes. Come on, people, smash the like button. Promise you it won't cost you a penny. Just hit the like button and or the dislike button. Do something. Appreciate it. And then National Free Flight Society said, love your videos. Well, thank you very much. That's the National Free Flight Society. They love our videos. Fantastic. That is really encouraging. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. So now we're up to 11 likes. So 12 likes. All right. It's like popcorn.
That's it. I don't know, Charles, after that story, people should have been liking that story, if nothing else, but
Yes. I know they should feel good about themselves if they
yeah, that's it.
put something in backwards. It happens to other people. You know, people put in weight boxes on the top and they try to play it off like they meant to do it that way because it's easier to get to.
Yeah, I did that on my ailerons. I weighed them and I put them on the wrong side. On the inside. So
Yes, I know. Oh man. I hate when I've actually got some epoxy that is beginning to go off and you discover you err of your ways and you're frantically trying to take it apart and it's frantically trying to cure, and you're just trying not to destroy your plane, but you've got to fix this before this epoxy just totally kicks off.
Yeah.
I mean. And John Lytle says, Flu Wednesday contest this weekend in Seattle. Oh, fantastic, John. What contest is going on in Seattle? I don't know.
Okay.
I got a question if I could.
And Mike Lonke's here. Hey, Mike, thanks for coming in. Appreciate it. I don't know what contest is in Seattle. Do you know, Bob? It's not too far from you, is it?
I don't have any idea. I think
Maybe-
Howard Rush mentioned something about a contest on the coast the other day when I was on the after party and he mentioned it to me. But I don't remember where he said it is because I'm not going to go anyway.
Yeah, maybe he's maybe Bob, maybe Howard Rush will know exactly what contest you're talking about. But good luck to you, John Lionel. Hope you do well at the contest.
Hey, Charles, I just got a quick question. We
Yeah.
were talking about some mufflers tongue mufflers. And I wrote down Stanley, and I don't know if that's to do with that or something else. Sometimes I scribble other things down, but I wrote the
Oh,
Stanley
that
parade.
guy named Stan something. Yeah. Mike Lonke knows who it is. He's on Facebook.
Okay.
His
I
name
just-
is Stan Frady, Frady. You can
Okay,
find-
yeah, okay. All right, I got that one. Yeah, okay. He's the one I looked up then. Thanks.
And then the other one was it RSM? I think it was, and then Jim Lee
Yeah, I got those two.
and
already.
Brodax.
Yeah.
Also.
So I got
There might be others out there. And then there's a guy on eBay, Scheiderman, his channel on eBay. He sells lots of mufflers and stuff. I think his name is Bob Brooks in Florida. I hope he's doing all right. I wonder if he's okay with all this stuff happening in Florida.
Bob Brooks.
Yeah. Well, his name, his handle on eBay is Scheiderman, I think.
Shatterman.
Something like that. SHITT, I think, ERMAN.
Okay.
Something
if I
like
can-
that.
And he was on which? Sorry, eBay.
eBay. Yeah, he's a pretty big seller on eBay. He sells a lot of control line stuff.
Okay. I'll look him up too. I just want to have different avenues for looking at stuff where I can get it. That's good. Thanks.
You're welcome. Hey, Tryon, thanks for coming in. Appreciate it. How you doing?
Good, I'm doing good. I came in, I'm not gonna stay too long, but I have something to share if you guys want to see.
All right, sounds good. And then Howard Rush. How you doing, Howard?
Here we go. Tim Justice here.
Hey, Tim Just, I was thinking about you earlier this week.
Yes.
You going to the contest in Seattle?
Yeah.
What is the name of that contest?
The R.F. Stevenson Memorial Raider Roundup.
So
That's a mouthful.
Is it just control line stunt, or is it a lot of things?
Well, it used to be a lot of things. Now it's stunt and carrier because we can't fly combat at the airport.
Very, very cool. Very, very cool. Well, good luck to you guys, man.
What did you do, Howard? What did you guys do at that airport that you're not allowed to fly combat there anymore?
Well, you can't. Oh, somebody had a combat plane. He ripped his damn lead out, and the airplane flew away and went through a hangar.
Oh yeah, that'll get you kicked out, all right. Oh my god.
Howard's messing with me.
Uh-huh.
And John Miller is here. Thank you, John, for coming in.
Good to be here.
Hi, John.
Yes, that makes us. We're up to 12.
Thanks.
So thank you guys for coming in. Appreciate that.
Thanks, Howard. I got the package.
Oh, good.
Well
Yeah.
In fact, I installed the canopy today. Just got through doing it.
Good.
Yeah. Oh, fantastic.
Thanks.
That's great. So that was a canopy that was like a universal canopy you had to cut down to make it.
It was from the Grander State.
So there's a little piece of fill going to be on my airplane.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
So can you show it to us, John? How it came out?
Oh, it's in the other room. I can go get it if you want. It's not complete. I still got to get the latch on the top, But I can just bring the canopy part.
That's what I mean. Yeah, the part that covers it up. Yeah.
I'll go do it.
Okay. So Tryon, what are you going to treat us with today?
A timer.
A timer?
Yeah,
Wow.
it's my custom made just a normal timer. It's not an active timer. For now, it's just a normal timer.
Wow.
So what I want to show you, it's
make it big here. 1 second.
So
all right. That's the RD1.
Yeah, no, this is a Prowler.
Okay.
So the timer is right here. I made a switch in here, which I started the connections.
Oh,
and
nice.
it comes from the ESC through the switch and to the timer that feeds the power to the timer. So, and I can switch it on and off here like that.
Uh-huh.
To get contact to it, right?
Right.
So I would say the bad point of this thing, you need a laptop to program it. I don't have a JettyBox protocol or something like that to do it with a JettyBox. I would like to, but right now I don't have it. But that being said, what I use is just a USB cord, and I just plug it into the laptop, this, and then I plug it in here into the USB port. So now I have connection to the USB port, and I'm going to share a screen with you guys right now.
Oh, hang on. I didn't fix that earlier. I meant to do that. One thing I missed. Let me fix that real quick. There we go. You're all set. Go ahead.
Good. Okay.
Yeah.
Share screen. Here you go. All right. Do you guys see this?
Yeah, Prowler, and I see a bunch of text. Yeah.
So basically, what where things start, they're here. So you have timer events, right?
Right.
And this is where my start delay is in seconds. So put whatever you want to have there.
Right.
30 seconds, 50 seconds, whatever. Really doesn't matter. There's no limit, right?
Right.
This is the flight time, how many minutes, how many seconds. So this is one set to 1 minute right now. I can have 1 minute and 30 seconds like that.
Okay.
All right. So, and then, so this is the general stuff, right? The
Right.
delay and the timing, the time wise, right?
Right.
Here are the throttle parameters, right? So the flight power here, it's how much power you want to have to the plane
Okay.
during normal flight, right?
All right.
And this is in percentage. Right now, if you see us like 70, that's
Right.
70% power.
Okay.
Okay. If you have 100, this is just an example here. If you put 100 here, you're asking for full power,
Okay.
right?
All right.
Or you can go whatever, 65. Now I have 65 power, right?
Okay.
The next one here is gain. Okay.
Right. Okay.
If you want to have a little bit faster speed towards the end of the flight, right? So whatever you start here, say you start with 65 and a gain of 2, at the end of flight, you're going to have 67.
Oh, all right.
Make sense? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. This is the takeoff parameters here after that, right? So the idea here is that I'm going to have a start power, which is at 0, right? And you have an end power, right?
Right.
Okay. So it's going to go from the start power to the end power that's set by you as a user, right?
Okay.
And it's going to hold that end power for 3 laps. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So you customize your takeoff basically.
Wow.
Right.
Right.
So for example, here, let's say I want to fly my level laps a little bit faster, right? Get a little bit more punch on a takeoff and kicks and giggles, right? Right. So for example, here, see, percent power to achieve on takeoff is here. It's just comments here. So you say it goes from 0 to 90% power, right? And says in 3 seconds. So you're going to take 3 seconds to get from 0 to 90%. And it's going to stay at 90% for the next 3 laps.
Okay.
Okay. So you have better line tension, probably have a nicer level flight, you know, all under control and stuff like that, right? After that takes place, then the flight power takes over.
Then the
It's
what?
going to
What
throttle
is
down. It's going to throttle down to or up, depending on where is your end power here, right? On takeoff. So you can customize your takeoff power, how fast you want to go up to RPM, what kind of RPM do you want to go up to, right? And in how long, right? You might have a nice day and you want to really take your sweet time, you know, getting up to power, right?
Right.
So just give it more time here. Instead of 3 seconds, 6 seconds.
Okay.
Right? Whatever. It really doesn't matter. Okay. So this is the takeoff parameters, right? And then you also have a custom land mode, right? Which you can make it into whatever you want to make it. Basically in land mode is going to be a ramp down in the power. It's going to go from some power that you start setting to an end setting, right? So you have a power from here to here and in certain amount of time, right? So let's say you go from 75% to 30% at idle, right? And you want to do that in 3 seconds, right? So as soon as the flight time it's expired, it's going to go to 70%. In 3 seconds, it's going to go down to 30%, right?
Right.
Or 20% or whatever. And it's going to hold at 20% for however long you want to have it. After which it shuts down. So you can have like a low idle power landings, and then the motor is going to shut down. Or for example, it's a windy day outside. You want to stay at full power and use it as a warning. So you give it 100% start, 100% end, and you give it to make that period of time, whatever you want to make it, say 2 seconds, 3 seconds, you know, okay, enough for a full lap, right? And then after that, you can make the other time to 0. So it's just going to shut down after that. So you have a ramp down with the time and an end power with the time on it too.
Very cool.
Okay. So this is basically what's for me is land initial power. So it starts at 90%. Let's see what I have here. I have a 90% initial power. End power is 90%, right? Okay. And this happens 5 seconds in this program, right? So basically, I go almost to full power for 5 seconds, and after that, see land time 2 is 0. So it's just going to shut down. It's going to stay almost at full power, and it's going to shut down. Done.
Very, very cool.
Now I can do something like this. Since I have the flight power 65%, I can start at 65 and say I go down to 20%. Okay. And I want to do that in 3 seconds. Okay. At the end of the flight, it's going to start at 60% power. It's going to go down to 20% in 3 seconds, right? And after that, I want to say another 3 seconds at power, at 20%. So now it's going to slow down to the end. It's going to hold it there for another 3 seconds. So probably just going to have a nice touchdown, and then tomorrow is going to shut down. Whatever you want to have.
That's very cool. Now, what inspired you to make this timer?
I just want to have what I want to have.
Okay. All right. I was just curious. They're very interesting.
Yeah, and this is just like just a stepping stone, because on I also have an accelerometer here. I'm not sure if you guys can see me. I share it now the screen, but if you see, I have an accelerometer here.
Right.
Probably
that's what you're going to add later on to this system. You're going to include
that later on. And I'm just going to have to add some stuff to this programming here, and basically for the flight part of it, right? It's going to be different.
Okay.
It's going to read an accelerometer. That's going to make some decisions. It's going to self-calibrate and stuff like that. The idea is to keep the angular velocity constant. Angular velocity is degrees displaced per second. So it doesn't matter if you go like this, you still display degrees per second in that axis, right?
Right.
Here, the horizontal, the axis is here. So the plane is kind of doing this, right?
Right.
Around this axis. So if you go vertical, we're still doing that, right?
I follow you. Very good explanation. Very good.
So that's the kind of the method to my madness. So
yeah.
And after that, once you're done with all the stuff, you just say here, click on this button, upload, and you click on it, and it's compiling the sketch right here. See that it says here in this area.
Right.
And it's going to check the sketch. It's called a sketch when you write these computer programs. There's the sketch right there, and it's done uploading. And you can even monitor what's going on in here. See, there it is. See, 0%, 180. This is a checking for a little blip on the motor to start, and then brings the power down to 10. And you're gonna see it when this reads about 30 thousandths, which is 30 seconds, right? We're gonna start this power level to see them going up here in this number. Right now it's at 10. So it's 24, 25, 6, 7, 8, 9. Watch it. 40, 50, 60. See? And it got up to, and it gets up to the power. It's here in this corner. But yeah, I'm sorry if you cannot see it. So
I don't see it. I don't see it. Maybe others see it, but
anyways.
Well, that's cool. So have you flown this yet with this system?
I did fly a different plane with the system. This is I just copied from over there, and I'm just using it from over there. Yeah.
Oh, very, very cool.
So yeah, and it's very flexible. You can do anything with it. What I like about it is that it has a nice, it has a nice control over the takeoff, the landing. It gives you a blip on the motor where it spins the prop like 2-3 rotations or something like that. Tells you like, hey, you know for sure the ESC it's armed, it's ready to go, stuff like that. It's
Right.
all active. The timer is working at a time. I mean, just have confirmations. You have a custom takeoff. Do it whatever you want to have it. That have custom landing stuff, and I mean, I think it's pretty user friendly overall.
Does it give you a warning that it's getting ready to go into the landing mode? You get like a warning. Like on my KR Governor, I get a little slowdown, and then I get a burst for like, I think it's 3 seconds, a burst of energy. So I know it's getting ready to land. Do you have a warning?
You could just program it like that if you want to. Give it a blip. Give it a blip upwards, right? Let's say you run a 65. Here's an example, right? So running at 65 power, right? At the end, it's going to be 67. So let's make something that's going to be completely different. So it's obvious, right?
Okay.
So let's go to 80% power at the end. So it's going to power up, right? It's going to be above the curve, right? It's going to speed up the plane a little bit, or right over there. And let's say you go down to 20 and give it 5 seconds. So I give you plenty of time to go. You have a burst of acceleration. If you are inverted, you definitely notice that, and you have more than enough time to go back in normal flight.
Okay.
Right.
That's cool.
Because in 5 seconds at that speed, you know, you make more than a lap.
Yeah.
Right. And in more than a lap, you have more than enough time to do that. So you can definitely introduce it in there or not.
Let me ask if anybody else has any questions. Anybody have any questions about what Tryon has shown?
I just got one. I don't know if you can do this or if it's possible. The bell, I don't know if bell curve is the right way to do it, but would it be good if you could ever take it and go from 90% power, I think you said go down to 20, but instead of just going like this, the power goes like that.
Oh, a bell curve.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you could probably add more endpoints if you want to, and have a bunch of straight lines, you know.
Right.
And break it down like that. But I think just throttling, it's a progressive throttle down, you know, in a span of time, right?
Yeah.
So
okay. I was just curious if it could be done.
So I guess if you widen it a little bit, then it wouldn't matter, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you have more time to react. So
I didn't know if it'd be better just to go from 90 down to 20, or if it'd be better to bell curve it. You know what I mean? But I don't know.
6 of one, half a dozen of the other. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it's definitely it is doable. I mean, it's just code, right?
Yeah.
And yeah, and for an end user, you know, you would just have to. This can be just open source kind of stuff, you know, that you know anybody can use it.
Get it on.
And it's very simple to do. I mean, because all you do is just take a. This is just an Arduino Nano, which cost about $7 or so. $7 investment, maybe $10 if you get a cord with it, and that. And then you need a switch and a few servo wires. And I'm gonna stop showing this.
All right.
Okay.
Well, thank you, Tryon. Appreciate it.
Yeah. So,
I mean,
so here's.
Go ahead.
Yeah. So this is all you have to get a little switch, right? Some wires.
Right.
So this is just a switch on which I solder the wires, right? And I have a servo plug here at the end of the switch. So and that's all there is to it. When you program it, when you program this guy, it takes the power from the computer, so you don't need to have anything plugged. See, my battery is not connected.
Right, I see that
at this
Very
moment.
Cool.
I'm just using the power from here. So you just it's $7 plus another $1 or so for the switch, some wires with $10.
Right.
You have a nice timer.
That's pretty cool, Tryon. Thank you very much. Let me see here. All right, thank you. Hey, John, you have that canopy to show me?
Yeah.
Let me see here.
So got some work to do up in this area where I'm going to put some Phillips in. But there he is looking out over the edge.
That looks good. That looks very good. Yeah, it
Oh,
looks
I
like,
love those racy looking canopies.
yeah, it looks just, that looks great. Good
Let's see.
job.
There we go. There's the back end. But you see back here, I cut out for the switch or that latch.
Oh, okay. All right. I don't know
And
why
the-
I thought the latch was gonna be up front, but
No, there's the look for the front.
okay.
Okay, but right here where you see this white, that's going to be epoxy of micro balloons, putting a radius in there and filling in the edge here. So, oops, I went down to a fill in the edge here and the radius in here. So yeah, it's got a little work yet to go, but I goofed up and got some glue on the inside of the canopy, but it's just going to stay there.
Yeah. But at least it's, you can hold the canopy in your hand and work on it. I mean, it's as opposed to a fuselage, you have to hold in a wing. That's very doable for you to get a real nice canopy fit. And
Yeah.
fit.
Yeah, I actually had to put a whole new floor in there for the canopy because my working on it and taking the pilot out and busted that floor all up. So I put a new piece of balsa in there and painted it flat black.
I busted my floor up too when I modified my my SV11 as well.
Right behind the pilot, I had actually, since I put a different flat board in there, it was a little bit taller. I had to actually cut some of that out, and when I put the new floor in, I raised it up 1/16 of an inch to make sure that the flat board cleared.
Yeah, I had the same dilemma. I had to make clearance for the flap horn. I put a taller flap horn in mine as well.
Yeah. So it's getting close.
Yeah, it is. Look forward to seeing it in Las Vegas.
I'm hoping, you know what I'm going to try to do? I don't know if I can do it. First off, I want to get that twin flight streak going. You know, to take that, because that gives me profile and classic to fly in.
Yeah.
But I want to back up for the SV11 just in case. It's been 10 years since, well, yeah, it's 10 years since I've done a complete competitive flight.
Yeah, that'd be good to have a backup just in case, because we're only what 4 or 5 weeks out or less till
Yeah.
Las Vegas shows up.
Well, what I'm going to try to do is I've been looking at the Pathfinder LE, and if I make a little hatch down on the bottom, and the new little latches work real good, I could take that hatch off, get the solder iron in there, get that horn fixed, so that it, and then have the Pathfinder either my backup or my primary with me. But I don't know if I'll have time enough to get that done. So.
Calcium chloride.
Hey, Jen, bring me a Pathfinder too. Bring me a Pathfinder too, so I can fly in profile there.
But I don't have a profile. I've got the full body one.
Oh.
But if I had one, you'd be welcome to it.
Bring Gordy's twin Pathfinder. That'd work.
Yeah. His twin flat, his new one. He's still sorting that out. You know, he's got different engines on. He's got those XL Magnum 15s, little ball bearing 15s. And if it'll turn 14,000 RPM, that's what Gordy wants to do. He's an old combat flyer after all. So, like I say, he's sorting it out, getting the engine runs and all that. I tell you, an IC twin takes a lot of work. Electric twin works a whole lot better.
Yeah, that's the only way I'd go now would be electric twin.
Yeah, it's like so hard to get them to synchronize those two IC motors and get the power out of them perfectly. That's a nightmare.
On my flight streak, it's got 2 OS 20 FPs on it. And I was having trouble with one engine quitting ahead of the other and all of that. And I couldn't get them to stop at the same time. And And if one stopped early and there was any fuel in there, I'd get an 18-minute flight because it'd really lean out. Anyway, so I got the bright idea of using, made a bladder that I'm coming off each end, and I'd fill that up with the fuel, and boy, it ran great. The motors quit within seconds of each other on the ground. And I put it up in the air, and the centrifugal force for the outside motor would make it run rich, even on pressure. And
but they'll be safe, right?
Huh?
They'll be safe.
What do you mean
If
by
the outboard motor goes a little bit slower, it's fine. Somewhat.
Well, yeah, that's fine, except I didn't get the motors. The motors wouldn't shut off at the same time. One of them would shut off before the other. The outboard one always was the last to shut off because of centrifugal force. And so that ended my experiment with a double-ended pressure bladder, and went back to regular tanks. Those are the tanks I had to form around the leading edge of the flight streak wing to get enough volume of fuel in there to do the pattern.
Oh, and by the way, this timer I have here, I can add more servo connectors. I mean, I can probably run 8 motors if I wanted to, and each one of them independently controlled.
Wow.
Hey, Tryon, I have a question from the chat box from Jeff Riley. He says, "Hey, Tryon, does that come with the 1.21 gigahertz watts flux capacitor, or is it that extra?"
Yeah.
Do the wheels fold up like that?
And I have some other comments in the chat box. John Lytle says the Raider Roundup details are in Flying Lines. Thank you very much. That's flyinglines.org. If you're listening, our audience is curious. It's a great website to go to. And then John Lytle says, is that the Auburn Airport? And then we got a like from Edward Carlaw. Thank you, Edward. I appreciate that. And then P. Taylor says, like sent. Hello from Nashville. Well, thank you, Paul Taylor. Thanks for coming in. And we have 25 concurrent viewers. Actually, we have 28 concurrent viewers, and we have 23 likes. We have 0 chat revenue and 0 new members. So consider joining Stunthangar's YouTube channel memberships. Just $4.99 a month. That helps support the channel. And don't forget the super chats. You can do it that way if you don't want to do a subscription. Right below the chat box is a big $sign. Smash that, and you can donate any amount you like.
Well, talk about my other hobby for a minute. I was on the ham radio today, and boy, was the conditions great. Literally 40 meters through 10 meters was wide open. And 10 meters, there was like 3 or 4 guys coming in from Tennessee. All the signals was coming from Tennessee, it seemed like. So just for Mike, let him know Tennessee was making noise today.
Yes, I think Paul Taylor heard that.
Cool. So
anybody do anything else in their shop?
I did something flying.
You did some flying. Which one did you fly? Which plane?
Revolutions.
Oh, great.
I did go out to play with the lead outs, and the Georgia contest, I ended up in a very good spot, and I just tried to see if I can do better. And I managed to make it worse. But No big deal. It's just more of a learning experience. I'm trying to see where the edge is, where where it gets real bad, and just get an idea of, hey, if a plane flies like this, is probably too far back or too far forward, to stuff like that. You just get a feel for it, and I'm just playing with it, just for the fun of it. And yeah.
I was talking to somebody, I think it was last week, and he was telling me about hunting. He believes, or he suspects, that you can help a plane if it hunts by adjusting the lead out rake. And I've never heard that before. You guys ever had any experience with that kind of helping with any hunting, the lead out position?
I've heard a lot of things recently about hunting. A lot of people say that plane hunts because the lines are sticking and not release. And I've also heard that they call it stiction. I've heard
that can be yes.
Yeah, and I've heard that some hunting is caused by lead out position, or by what is it, the center lift being too far from the center of gravity.
I say yes. The lead outs, no, I don't think so.
I tend to agree with you. I myself think that the biggest cause of hunting is gyroscopic precession. And so
it's a possibility, but I think line sticking, bad geometry, your elevator has some negative incidents, so it goes like down.
Oh, that's definitely bad.
I think a little positive incidents works fine, as Fitzgerald was saying that a while ago.
If the lift pressure are in different places, the airplane will accelerate in pitch.
Yeah. Or some hunting can be just a fake hunting. If you go when the weather is nice outside and have high heat on the ground, or you fly over the asphalt, and then you go end up over the grass. The asphalt will create more heat, more lift over there, and then it feels like the plane is going up over there.
Yeah.
And then you go over the grass part. I mean, it's like so many things. But I don't think that lead out position has anything to do with it. The CG position, yes.
Okay.
If it's too far back, the plane will hunt. Yes, absolutely. The further forward it is, the more stable it is. So that's kind of common sense, right?
Yeah, I was just curious. I never heard that before, because I was talking to this individual and I was adjusting my line spacing to kind of reduce some of the hunting. And he told me, yeah, no, you should adjust the lead out position. And I go, oh, that's interesting. I never thought of it from that perspective. So I was just curious if anyone else.
Yes. So see, here's the thing. It's like I was flying my plane in the Georgia contest. I went there like at 6 o'clock in the morning. It was super early, right? And it was still night outside. Basically, the sun barely came up. I could barely see the plane when I started, right? And the plane would track like it was on rails, right? And then as soon as the sun came up, the plane started to be upset. He didn't like it. It was just going. It was waving a little bit up. I mean, you definitely had to. I had definitely had to start to work a little bit at it, right? Not excessive, but then knowing that in the previous conditions was perfect, then it kind of opened up my eyes. It's like, okay, so it's very touchy to the, it really doesn't like the change in. Obviously, super light has a lot of wing area, so any little amount of lift that you have from the raising current of air, stuff like that, or if you fly through if you fly through lift, you may look like it's hunting. So that can be fake too.
Yeah.
Another fakeness can be from biasing your handle, because if you bias your handle, like you have your handle here and your control points are here, it always wants to pull it down, right? It pulls down on you. Or if it's below, they want to pull up. I'm exaggerating right now, right? But you always fight that. It just pulls you up. You push the plane down. It pulls you up. Push the plane down. So it looks like hunting, but there's actually nothing to do with the plane. It has everything to do with the handle, right? That's and I think hunting is kind of tricky to diagnose because it can come from so many different places.
I'll agree with you that it can come from many different places. In my own particular case, I finally found it, by the way, and I want to figure out where to post it. I've got a copy of Whiteley's Things That Always Work.
Oh, cool.
And your down thrust, right?
Yeah, a little down thrust, a little positive stab, and I have not had a problem with hunting since.
You know what? Another cause for hunting, if you have light line tension.
Yes.
As soon as the plane is being pushed into the circle or something like that, you lose some line tension and the line slack a little bit.
Yep.
Then it's as if you give it control, up or down, and that's also a gift. I mean, how many causes did we find so far? CG, line tension, handle position, motor offset, elevator offset,
stiction.
Yeah, stiction.
Sticky controls.
Sticky controls. Yeah. Yeah, it could be.
I didn't mention the lead outs.
Back in the late 50s, the cure for that was to wobble out the hole on the elevator so that you could droop your elevator about 1/8 of an inch, and that would tend to make it fly with less problems with hunting.
So you induce some stress between the controls, right?
Well, the controls from the flat back to the elevator were very loose, so the horn could move up and down about 1/8 of an inch either way.
Oh no, wait a second. I misunderstood you. Sorry. Yeah, slap, a little bit of slap over there. Yes.
Yep, little slop.
Yeah. Basically, you fly the level laps with your flaps, not with the elevator.
That was a Bob Giordini solution.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got to read that Bob Giordini article. I haven't read it yet, but I do have it. I have a folder with.
That's a must read, Charles.
Yeah, I know. I just haven't read
I'd like to have a copy of that if I can get a copy of that and a copy of Things That Always Work.
Well, I'm thinking what I'll do is on my CAD Classics in the vendors corner, I'll post it there, and then it'll just stay there, because I don't know how to post it to. I mean, I can post on Stunthangar, but it won't lock. So it'll. I don't.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, you got to keep editing.
CAD Classics, what corner? I'm sorry.
CAD Classics in the vendors corner on Stunthangar.
Okay.
So if you're on Stunthangar, just go down to the vendors corner and you see CAD Classics. Go over there, and I'll get it in there tomorrow.
Okay, thank you. I'd like to read that. So if I can bring them up, I can copy them.
Yeah, and if Charles, if you got the article by Bob Giordini on digital, let me know. We'll post that.
I have it printed. I don't know if I have it digitally. I just have it, but I could always scan it. But it's just another thing I got to get done. I'm just so overwhelmed with so much stuff.
When and if you do, just shoot it to me. And we'll put it right next to the Things That Always Work.
You have to remind me, because I just have too many things going on at this moment. Let me welcome Brent Williams in. Hey, Brent, thanks for coming in. I see you're showing us a plane there. And thank you, Phil Bailey, for coming in also.
Thank you. Glad to be here. That's pretty. Boy, that red is beautiful.
Yeah, what are we looking at, Brent? What is this?
So I'm going to show you a cool motor. Well, not a motor. Well, it is a motor thing. But anyway, so here we've got the spring latch to get the hatch off.
Yeah, it's very cool.
And this is my cool battery mount method that uses the same thing. So the battery gets mounted to the bottom of this, and it sits in a tongue thing that bolts to the back of the motor mount. That goes in there like that, and then it'll go. I haven't finished putting the little brass pin receiver back here. That's a cool way to take your battery thing in and out, and you can mount it. The battery will get mounted to this tray. Then it goes right in the little thingamabob up here and back like that. So it's cool, no tools method to do all this stuff.
Yeah, that's
That's
cool.
nice.
It is
No
cool.
tools is always good.
Yeah, it is nice.
Bro, what red is that?
Callback came through there. So anyway, it's kind of a fun way to do a solution. I thought, well, how can we do something a little bit different? And
Brent,
Brent, what-
be mindful about cooling the battery.
oh, that's not a problem. It'll sit in a wind tunnel.
Yeah.
So
But
that-
still you have the piece of plywood on one side that kind of obstructs any airflow
oh, yeah, it'll
on
get
that one area.
it'll get some holes in it and stuff. It's
Okay. Yeah.
it's just in progress, but it mounts it right on the center line like that. And
Is that Norm Whittle's design?
yeah, that's Norm's last glow Sultan.
Yeah.
It,
What color? Phil has been trying to find out what color, what tone of red is that? What?
It's class coat red.
Class coat. Okay. That figures.
Very
Now you're
red.
gonna teach. Now somebody's gonna teach me how to shoot class coat that doesn't get ridiculously heavy.
You just
Boy,
thin
that's a
it.
pretty
You
job.
just thin it until it's water thin. Just keep thinning it. Just thin it, mix it together, and then basically you mix almost the same amount of reducer with it, and it shoots on and goes on great.
All right, I'm gonna try that. Not in the next week or two, but I'm gonna try that. I've been wanting to shoot some of that. I've got some deep sea blue from a Bearcat, and I want to spray it. My my paint expert Tom is having some health problems right now, so we won't be bothering him with any how do I do this for a while.
So it goes on really nice. Roger Kramer is who sprayed it on for me.
Roger's incredible.
Yeah, he's a great
That
craftsman.
is beautiful. And that's just regular red?
Yep.
That is
Wow.
pretty.
So back here, when you spray it over white, you probably won't be able to see here, but back here is where it's sprayed over white. So the white was sprayed first, and then this is probably the same shade, but sprayed over white. And then this is over gray. So you can see that it
Darker.
It's a little deeper, but
a little deeper.
golly,
Yeah.
it's pretty.
Yeah. It goes on really nice.
pretty.
Monocoat wings and tail, and then the rest is just class coat right out of the gun, no clear.
Brent, you know
Is
what
that
I
a
did?
shark?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a shark.
Oh, that's pretty.
Cool deal.
That is pretty, Brent.
Yeah. So that.
You see how simple the paint job is? It still is beautiful.
Yeah, I know. It's pretty.
It really is nice. Looks like a National Guard paint scheme. That's really
Yeah.
nice.
No, it's not that. I think what steals your eyes is the balance of the paint. If you look
Yeah.
from the side of the fuselage, what do you see? White in the center with the tips are yellow, right?
Yeah.
If you
That's
look from
pretty.
the top on the wing, what do you see?
Yeah. Same thing.
Right? Exactly the same
Very
thing.
neat.
White in
Yeah.
the center with the tips that are white. And that balance, in a paint job always looks good. It doesn't really matter what you do.
Yeah, it's a cool plane. It should be fun. I'm doing a little bit of a heart transplant on it. It's already electric, but I'm changing it up a little bit. So, but yeah, it should be a fun plane.
Yeah, it's very
I
pretty.
think you and I would get along fine. We're both Mopar nuts.
Oh yeah, you see that?
Yeah, I love my Mopars. That's back in the day when they were fun to play with.
That's a heck of a way to use them though for paint booths.
Well, it's a
Yeah,
good
well,
for SV11s too. I've got an SV11 in that box. That's a good bench right now. So anyhow, thought that you guys might find that just kind of a clever way to
that is neat.
use.
Yeah, it is.
Very neat.
So yeah, little pin there, and then this is I don't know, 16 gauge metal or something like that. And then it's got a little plywood plate under there, so it's not in single shear. You know, it just comes out and supports it, and then bolts on with the bolts there for the motor mount. So.
Very neat.
Hey, Brent.
How do you like the rear mount, Brent?
Well, I'll let you know. I know I'm shamelessly copying Paul Walker's motor mount system, and he's never had a problem with it. He says it cools much better. So he's never had a bearing failure from too hot of a motor. And if you look at the way air comes into it, there's no arguing that it's got a lot of air coming right into the motor, you know?
Well, the problem is the back side is not as big as the front side. So it's going to dam up inside it, but evidently Paul doesn't have a problem with it.
So the motor, they can only pass so much through it, but every bit around the, here, let's put it like this so you can see it. So if you look, anything that can pass through the motor
goes actually through the motor, yeah.
And then there's axial clearance all the way around the motor as well.
Okay,
very slick.
Yeah, you could definitely put the Dremel tool in there and just open it up. Wherever there are not the screws from your mount, you can open them up.
Yeah.
Or no. Wait a second. You want the air to go through the core of the motor, not from the outside.
Yeah, that has an annular cooling ring on the front.
I think that's really neat the way it is. I think it's gonna work fine.
Yeah, let's see where I put the spinner here. So the spinner fits on it like so.
Oh yeah, that is gonna be nice.
Oh, that looks beautiful.
Nice.
So you can
Where's
see
the
the
exit holes for the air? I don't see the exit hole for the air to get out.
Oh, there's plenty. So.
Oh Lord, yeah.
Okay.
If we're talking about ratios of intake to exhaust, it's got exhaust. It's got way a lot of exhaust. So any hot that's in there is just by nature of the differential, it's going to go out the back no matter what. So.
No kidding. That's
isn't Sultan like having a little bit thinner airfoil than normal?
The Sultan E is. This is quite thick. So this was Norm's last glow Sultan before the Sultan E series. So the Sultan E is like 15%, but this is I think 22.
Oh wow! Yeah.
Up here at elevation, it flies awesome. It's like on a summer day, our air density is 7,500 or 8,000. So it just performs. And supposedly, not supposedly, Norm with his thin wing version, that thing was awesome too, from what I've heard. So, but anyhow,
landing gear set up for grass or asphalt?
Well, it's set up for hand launch because that's what we do up here in Utah. So
the grass where they fly is so thick, it's a soccer field, and I mean it is thick. Even when it's cut at what would be normal height, it's like trying to take off, in a bramble field. So about every flight is hand launched because very few airplanes can take off on it.
Yep. Wow. So. This is in relation to the size of the plate. There's the lithium ion battery right there. So,
okay.
And it'll get, I'll put a Velcro sheet on this, and then it'll have a little bit of Velcro on the battery, and then it'll also get Velcro straps around it. So it's.
All right, let me ask a stupid question. Lithium ion, is that lighter than LiPo?
Yeah, this weighs, so this is a 2600 6-cell, and they weigh about 305 grams, 310 grams. So they weigh basically what a 5-cell weighs.
Well,
so.
Wow, that's nice.
Yeah, so.
Wait a second. I always wanted to ask a question. What kind of cells do you guys use in those things?
It's Molicel P26As.
Molicel?
Yeah, MOLICEL, Molicel P26A, and they make a 2800 cell, which is what they're kind of going to. So it's the P28A Molicel, and it's a 18650 size cell. And yeah, I got these from Dane Martin, but there's no, if you're handy, you can make them yourself. So.
Yeah, no, exactly, because I found the welder, I found everything that I need to make my own battery packs.
You just have to, I bought these materials and Dane made them for me. He got me out of a jam, so I'm very grateful for his kindness. But I got these on these 6-cell balance leads. I think I got it on Banggood or something like that. Nice.
What's the C rating on those things?
I'd have to look, but it's more than we need. You know, it's they're rated for constant 35 amp discharge, which most of us don't go in that deep. You know,
35 amps, you can weld with that.
Yeah, you could. Yeah, but
Will tomorrow.
I'm sorry, what was that?
Will tomorrow gave instructions on how to make batteries using those cells. I think he posted it on Stunthangar.
Oh, cool. Yeah, this is.
I looked at something like that, but I never saw any information on the batteries themselves.
So you just the main thing is that you observe the safety protocols, and Dane has some stuff on his YouTube channel and stuff like that of making sure you're using fish tape, fish paper, and just so you're just preventing future problems. So that's one of the things, you know, you can weld them and you can do all that stuff, but you have to make sure that you're doing stuff so over the long term with vibration and everything else, you're not creating fire hazard or a failure point. So
yeah.
Anyway,
Brent, I'm actually curious about that ruler.
This.
Yeah. Is that made out of metal or is it what's it made out
of?
Yeah, metal. Oh, that is very cool for us senior guys. You can see and read it.
It's a Royal brand, and it's probably older than me. So I'm the young guy in the hobby around these parts, and a lot of the stuff ends up coming my way. And
yeah, that's a very nice ruler. How long is that ruler?
It's a meter. No, it's 36 inches. So it's
yeah, 36. Yeah.
Yeah, this was one of the guys in our club here is passed on, named George Swanson. So just some of his building supplies. So kind of a fun, you know, you pick up, it's interesting, the nostalgia part. If you know a tool came from someone that was your friend, then when you pick up that tool, it's you think of them, you know. So when I pick up this ruler out here in the garage, I think of George, you know. So
yeah, I bet. Yeah,
George beat me in combat at the Nats in Lincoln.
Really? George Swanson did?
Yes, he did.
Wow.
He was a happy, upbeat fellow. He was very nice. So
yeah,
he was also a good combat flyer. If you beat him, I've seen Howard fly many times, and he was tough.
I don't think he ever beat Gordon up here when George and Gordon flew, but yeah, George was always laughing. He was just a happy-go-lucky kind of guy. So anyhow.
Yeah, thanks for the information. I really appreciate that.
Yeah, they're if you buy, so one thing is if you know you're going to build a lot of them, or if you have a friend that's going to build some, buy them in quantity. So buy 50 of them because you get quite a price break, or buy them from Dane because he can get you a price break probably. But if you buy,
that's what I was thinking, just get a bunch of them.
So when I bought these, I bought 50 of the cells and made up 8 of these, you know, so I should be good for.
Where do you get them in mass quantities like that?
I think it's called lithium ion wholesale or something like that. So you just want to make sure that you're getting legit Molicel stuff, not Chinese
copies.
Junk.
Yeah.
So,
Tran, when you get ready to do that, give me a holler and I'll order some too.
So,
but I got to ask a dumb question. What is fish paper?
fish paper is I would guess it's a non-flammable insulative paper, like
but it's
like
actually
you
paper.
make circuit boards out of it, old style like Fender amps from the 60s. You'd make it out of stuff like this. That's just
Okay.
thick, insulative, fibrous paper.
I know what you're talking about now. When when you say Fender amps, that I have a lot of experience with. Okay.
Oh
yeah. I'm revealing my other hobbies, right? So
yeah,
tube amps and hot rods and airplanes. So it's anyhow so you have a fish paper front and back, and then in between the cells, and then there's a little ring that goes around each cell that insulates the top. So you just want to, that's just, everything is basically protected that way. And then that's a safety protocol. So, the stuff's so cheap, there's no reason not to. So.
Yeah, I found all of that stuff, the rings, the tin blades, the the welding equipment, everything.
You just want to make sure you can use 0.15 nickel strips or 0.2. If your welder can handle 0.2, that's even better. But the minimum I'd use is 0.15. If you have the money, it's probably, I'd recommend buying them from Dane. And then that supports a guy in the hobby. But if you want to build some, all the information's out there to do it. But Dane puts out a good product. So
what does Dane get for one of those?
I think they're about $50.
That's not bad.
No, and it's not really bad. So in the guitar, I used to manage guitar stores and build guitars and amps for people. And there's an adage that we would use in the amp and guitar building world is, why buy new when you can build for twice as much? So,
yeah, I had two. I used to have two Super Beatles. If anybody knows what those are, it's a very large amplifier, two big speaker boxes. Each amp is two big speaker boxes with an amplifier that sets between them. And I had four of the boxes and two of the amps. One that was tube, and one that was solid state. And Lord, when we go to play, that was so much crap to carry.
Yeah.
I always wondered, why are you doing this?
So anyhow, with the battery deal, if you're going to do it and you're going to build a few, you can acquire all the equipment to do it, but it's like, to do it right, you got to buy a welder and you got to do all these things. And sometimes it's better just to throw some business at Zane or at Dane, and your stuff just shows up. But it is I now have all to do it. So.
Have you thought about taking instead of having the safety plug come out the side, have you ever thought about having the plug on the side of it where you can disconnect that? Because I know one of the batteries Paul Walker used at the Nationals, when he pulled it out of his plane, there was no wires coming off of it other than the two main battery wires. So I went and asked him about it. And it's I can't remember the name of the battery, but they come that way.
Well, if you do it yourself, then you can put it anywhere you want to have it.
Well, yeah, but you just take it off and then you don't have to fumble with that thing being in the way going in the plane and all. And you take the battery out of the plane.
Like I said, you put it wherever you want to have it.
Yeah. Yeah, I just wonder where. Anyway,
are you talking about Spectrum? Is it on a Siemens battery?
Let me go get one. I've got one downstairs that somebody gave me a while back, and I don't remember what it is. I know it's well, let me just go get it. I can't remember. 6L 2800.
So guys, it's kind of late for me, so I'm
all right. Hey, thank you, Tryon.
You take care of yourself.
Thanks for show and tell.
Go flying tomorrow, Tryon.
Hey, Stuart, people understand your question? You said, is it Spectrum? You're talking about the battery? What are you talking about? Okay.
Thank you, Brent. Thank you so much.
Take care.
Yep. See you guys.
You out of here too, Brent?
Yeah, I gotta get some stuff going. I gotta take care of. I'm cooking.
Well, thank you for coming in, Brent.
I'll see you.
See you, man.
Take care. Oh,
What do you got there, Stuart? What are you holding up?
I got a question. Have you
Yeah.
guys ever used a OS Max 60P or FP for stunt planes?
FP, Lord, yeah, everybody has.
A 60 FP?
Yeah.
Oh, 60 FP. No.
I've
Now, I think
never
it's too
seen one
heavy of a
used.
motor. I think the weight penalty for the power you get is just not worth it, I think.
Well, yeah, on the bigger planes, you could possibly use it, or maybe not. I don't know.
I've never seen one.
I've never seen one used in competitive PA.
Yeah, it's a heavy motor and the power. It's just other lighter size motors that give you
No, if you want something to fly for sport, go for it.
Okay. Well, I picked these up. I can always use them in RC, but I picked them up brand new, two of them, 6250 delivered each. So
wow.
Good grief.
I can't go wrong with it. I could
Oh.
resell if I had to, but I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah, good deal.
I don't think there's anything fundamentally wrong with using them for stunt. You're going to be trailblazing a little bit. The FPs weren't out. The 60 FP, as I recall, wasn't out that long before it was replaced with the LA 65.
Oh, okay.
And then the LA 65 seemed to disappear in a hurry too. So
Yeah.
as the
it
guys
really
say,
did.
it's, they were physically heavier than a lot of the other choices. And I think
Yeah.
everybody was waiting for somebody else to try it first. I happen to get two of them with the idea of trying to fly stunt planes with them. And that was about the same time I discovered electric motors. So I still got two of them around here someplace.
Yeah. Well, I
I'm
just
not sure where they are.
pick them up and I can maybe, like I said, if I don't use them for that, this time I can use it in RC too. So
Yeah.
it'll be
They
all
were
right.
great for paperweights.
Oh, another thing, hey, Mike, see, I just to let you know, I did the stunt, I used, or the combat plane with 60-foot lines,
Yeah,
8-foot prop.
8-foot prop.
Yeah, 8-foot.
Wow.
Jesus.
I used an 8-inch. Okay, and then but I learned to do the clover leaf and the overhead eights with it. So
Awesome. So that 60-foot got you slowed down enough it wasn't screwing you into the ground, huh?
yeah, so
Good.
I punched her into the ground about 3 times learning those, but it still worked. So
All right. Well, I'm glad that worked out for you.
yeah,
I
Guys,
got
there's
it.
that battery I was talking about. It's a Hyperon.
Let me see that battery. Let me see it again. Make it big.
It's a Hyperon. And the wire comes out the end. Just I got enough light in here to see what I'm doing, but it just plugs in the side over here like that. You put that in the airplane. When you want to put it in the airplane, you just take the wire off of it. And I was told this is what Paul Walker uses. Well, I saw Paul unhook his, but I did not know what he was using. So I asked somebody, and he told me this is what Paul uses, and gave me this one. So I took it and tried it. It's a good battery. It's a really good battery. And I don't know. I looked into trying to get them, but they're expensive. They're like $65 a piece.
Now that is a that's a LiPo battery.
Yes.
Okay.
That's a Hyperon. It's a 6S 22.8 volt, 2800 megaamp hours. And it's, I don't know, the crazy thing is it seems to charge faster than my other batteries. I don't know why. I don't know how that's possible, but that was on number 4. I plugged it up fourth, and it was the first one to be full charged. I mean, by about 15 minutes. I had another battery on there charging long before. Well, anyway, it just seemed to charge a lot quicker. So I don't know. I'm gonna try it tomorrow and see what happens. Take it out and fly it some and see what happens.
Very good.
Yeah. I figured if nothing else, I'd put it on my electric starter, but I don't carry an electric starter anymore. I don't need it for electric. I push a button and away I go.
Yeah, 22 volts on electric starter would be interesting too. So
That's what I was thinking. I'd have to put a reduction.
You could go back, you could use that starter to crank your Mopar again, so.
Yeah, really. I think
Yeah.
I'd have to put a heck of a resistor in it. It'd probably get too hot, but
Yeah.
I told him I don't know what I'll do with it if it don't work in the plane, but he said just put it in the plane, try it, you'll like it.
No
So,
reason why it shouldn't work.
Keith is trying to get into the conversation.
No, no,
Do
no,
what?
I want to ask Mark. Hey, Mark, how's your Bearcat coming?
Coming slowly.
Got color on it yet?
No, I'm putting the layers of
Okay.
finishing resin on it now, and then I'll do the filler and then the color.
Which one are you building?
Raby Bearcat 3.
That was
Is
the one
that-
that was published, right?
Keith, I'm
Well, there's a-
lost here. Bearcat 3, is
plan
that the
wa-
one you built?
The one I
Is it-
built was from the magazine plans, whatever that was.
It was a Bearcat 2, I think. It's the way Raby's
Well,
But,
two
heritage
I think,
went.
but I didn't,
two, I think is the one that Brodak kits, and then 3
No.
is the first full molded one.
yeah,
Brodak
plans-
didn't.
Yeah, the
Brodak
Brodak is a
didn't-
Pat Johnson airplane.
Yeah, it's not a Raby Bearcat.
Oh, it isn't? Okay.
No.
No.
I thought it was the Raby 2. It's very close.
anyway, mine was off the magazine plans, but I didn't use the blocks like he used. I made my own set up my own formers, and it is all planked with, like, I think 3/32 inch strips.
Mm-hmm.
I have tried what Keith does, and let me tell you, don't try this at home.
Why?
Keith's a master. I'm telling you, his FW190 was planked too, and it looked to me like it was carved. But wow.
Oh,
Anyway, I'm building the
those of you-
Bearcat. I'm
Go ahead.
building the Bearcat from the Pampa plans. They had the Bearcat 3 plans that they offered for some time, and I got a set.
Yeah. That's the one I've got. That's
molded
it.
shells, yeah.
Yeah, I think that's the same one that Keith built, but it's
The other thing, though, is I used the airfoil off those same magazine plans, and Al sent me copies of a different airfoil he said would work better, and they said it's still classic legal, but I already had my wing built, so I stayed with that, and
Yeah.
I was happy with that, with the way that airplane flew. So
I saw it fly at VSC. I mean, at Brodak. You should have been happy with that airplane. You still got that, don't you?
it's crashed.
Oh no,
I hooked
that
up.
was beautiful.
Third time I hooked up the line backwards, I couldn't keep up with it.
Oh Lord,
man.
that's a shame. That one you had a 50 PA-51 in that, didn't you?
No, it was a George Aldridge jet, GMA
Jet 50.
50.
Jet 51 or 50. Yeah, okay. I was trying to figure out what motor to put in it, and I have a PA-50 that came from Bear, and I bought it from Bear at the Nationals, and I want to put that in something special. I think that Bearcat would be just a real nice one to put it in.
That should work.
Yeah.
Well, Raby did his first one with a Tiger 46 or a derivative of the Super Tiger, Como something or other. Or
Como 51. Yeah.
And those
Yeah.
were reworked somehow by Como, who was putting those engines together.
Yeah, I remember talking to him about that. I bought one, but mine ain't got the power his had. Man, his roared.
So that GMA Jet 50 is a cast case, wasn't a machine case.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah, I have the 61 that I got from George at VSC. And you're right.
Not the prettiest thing, but they're horses. I mean, they just sit there and pull like a tractor. I mean, that's really neat.
Yeah. Yeah, it has sub-port induction, so everybody said that'll never make it as a tune pipe motor. Whoopee. It runs great. That thing runs great. It's like everything George had put his hands to. It ran beautiful. I miss some of those guys. That's one that, well, all of them, but there's several that I've met over the years that were people that just, when they start talking, you just kind of sit down and listen. You can learn a lot just to their cutting up.
Yep, absolutely. I want to apologize to Jeff Riley. Actually, when we was talking about the hinging, I should have read it then, but Jeff Riley said, I've noticed that if the lead outs are too far back, causing a scrubbing yaw, the instability can be mistaken for hunting. And I know this, we've already passed that subject, but I try to read all the chats, and that's what he said. And then thank you for the like, Phil. I see you gave us a like. Thank you very much.
Got a question. Some of you guys on the West Coast that have actually seen a firecracker fly. I don't understand. I watched a movie. I watched a tape somebody sent me of a firecracker flying, a white one that was supposed to be at one of the big contests in California. That thing's looks to me like it's flying with the nose way out. I mean, way out.
That's the
really fly
one.
Like that?
That's the one that has the real radical wing with a lot of taper front and rear.
Yeah, both sides. Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen one fly.
Do they really fly that far out?
Let's. Alan Ressinger has one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the one I saw.
He's in the Northwest. Flies backwards. Flies clockwise.
Yeah, but it flies with a nose really out. I mean, it really looks like it's really crabbing something fierce.
I don't know about that, but I always thought that looked like a credible airplane. I thought it'd fly well. I couldn't fly his because he flies clockwise.
Yeah.
Otherwise,
it looked good enough to me that I ordered the plans to it, and it's an interesting airplane. It will be very interesting electric, I think. But I don't know if I'll ever get around to it because I got like everybody else, I got too many planes I want to build.
Yeah.
And not that much time, but it's just one.
Build one, let me fly it.
Okay.
If you build one, Phil, be real careful on the wing. Make sure you get good glue joints and strength where you need it and lightness where you need it. The one I saw fly, he blew his wing up.
Uh-oh. Well, I'm telling you what, those ribs are tiny. I mean, there's everybody calls a Cobra a wishbone wing. These things, a 1/4 inch would be, I think you'd be stretching. I think 3/16 is more like what they show on the plans. I didn't measure them, but I looked at them and thought, good grief. That thing is really small.
Well, just as a word of warning, the only one I saw fly, his wing blew up in the maneuvers. So don't know why, and it's a good design. I've been told it's an excellent design.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a British design, isn't it, Howard?
No, Australian.
Yeah.
Yes, it's Brian Ether.
Brian Ether, I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right, I got one more question. I'm gonna try to shut up and listen for a while. If you guys were building a Pathfinder Mark III, I started to build it with a 28-26. Then I bought a printed front end for a 35-15. I don't know what motor to put on this thing. And I don't know whether to stretch the front end. I've been told to stretch the front end an inch, not to stretch the front end an inch.
There you go.
All I can, Keith, take care, buddy.
Yeah.
Hey, thank you, Keith, for coming in.
You bet.
What motor would you put in it? Dennis,
I don't know how big of a Mark III or Mark IV is.
It's about a 620 square inch wing, tapered wing. 650, excuse me.
I built a 2022, I think it is, front end, Brodak printed front end, front end to go on it. But you can't put a real big motor in it.
No, that'll take a 28 millimeter motor. So
yeah, so I was trying to decide whether to put a 28 millimeter in it or go with a 35. So I don't know. What would you do?
I'd go to 28.
I'd go with a 28, 26.
Okay. I've got one on order, supposed to be here Tuesday. That's
Yeah,
good, then
reason
I can-
being is that, you're not going to push it past a 12-inch prop. You'll probably fly it around 11 and a
No.
half or something like that.
11 and a half.
And that's all you need with a 11 and a half inch prop or something like that. 28, 26 is a good match. So
Okey-doke.
it'll save you just a smidgen of weight over a 35-15, I think. But again, I don't think I'd worry about stretching the nose or anything either. So
Wait,
Okay.
650 square inch wing?
Yeah,
Right. Isn't that like a 60 size ship?
it's the same wing right here, the Pathfinder 40 behind me. This one
Oh, it
here.
is?
yeah.
Oh, it's the same. Is that
It's
okay?
built a little different, but it's the same wing.
And
And
that's got the OS 40 FP in it.
that's right. And that flew well at Tucson, and Tucson's got the rarefied air. Okay. That got me. Okay. Forgotten about that.
We beat that air in Tucson for rarefied.
Yeah, John and I are laughing because we fly a mile high and we go down to Tucson. We think it's great because it's low,
Yeah.
2,000 feet there. And people
Well.
from the coast come up and they complain about being high altitude.
Well, I went to Tucson with a boxcar chief, and I couldn't believe the wind. I couldn't believe the thin air, and I couldn't believe. Well, I beat myself. I was using a Fox 35 needle valve, stock needle valve, instead of going to Super Tiger like somebody with good sense. Who's leaving?
Now I'm waving hi to Lynn Burrell.
Oh, good.
Lynn's in the house.
And hi, Steve.
Oh,
Thanks
man.
for coming in.
Hey.
Good to see you, Steve.
Yeah, Steve.
Always good to see you, even if you are ornery. But anyway, I had put a piece of fuel line on my needle valve to stop a leak that I didn't know I had, but some people thought that was the way to do it. Well, I didn't think to take it off when I went to Tucson. And when I ran it in to go fly, it backed out during the flight. I ended up taking 6-second loops, not laps, loops.
Wow. I just can't even picture that. I've heard you say that a couple times, but I just can't imagine.
Oh, it just went up there and stopped. It looked like a bislob or something. And then it come over the top. And then it
Your
goes
line-
again and just
line
all but
tension-
stop.
Your line tension was present?
Oh, son, you got so much wind at Tucson, you ain't got to worry about line tension.
Okay. All right.
That's the least of your worries at Tucson in your loops. But I beat myself. If I went back, I'd have undercambered props and I'd have a decent needle valve on it. But I probably would not take that plane back. I've got a Humongous is so much better flying airplane. It's ridiculous. And I've got enough power on the front of it that it'll go. But I tell you what I'm thinking about doing, and I know it's blasphemy, but I'm thinking about building an electric old timer. I know somebody else that's done it. We won't mention any names, but his initials are Dennis Adamism. And his flies very well. So I may have to do it. I may have to try it.
Hey, Dennis.
Yeah.
I got the nights mixed up on for the club meeting.
Yeah. That's
So
okay.
I went all the way there, but it's the last Tuesday and not the first Wednesday.
So you had the place to yourself then? Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
And in cold weather, it's not even held, which they consider cold weather. It's not even held there at the field. It's held at a school. So even if I would have had the right night, I would have been to the wrong.
That's it. So you had the wrong site and the wrong date.
Yes.
Okay.
Mhm.
What could
How
possibly
far
go
did you
wrong?
drive,
Okay.
Steve?
Oh, 35 miles.
That's not too bad.
Nah, I just had to go out that way. I just ran by there and but that's the way it is. The old club was first Wednesday and this is the last Tuesday, and I don't know why, but it is. So.
Hey, Charles.
Yeah.
You know what's holding me up on my SV11? I just thought about it.
What's that?
I can't find my prop reamer.
Oh,
And I got a whole bunch of really nice Zor 13.6s, but the holes are too small.
Yes. Oh man. I mean, it is so frustrating when you're trying to make progress and you're spending hours or days looking.
Well, and the closest place I can buy one is 150 miles.
Yeah. Oh man.
Oh man, get on the internet. You can buy anything.
will.
on the
Just send,
internet.
I will.
just send the props to me, John. I'll take them.
I thought you might.
So your plane's done, John? You just got to put a propeller on it?
Almost. It's very close. I was getting ready to put the propeller on it. I was gonna bring it in here and show it, say, you know, and no, I couldn't, no prop on it, no spinner, because that's the way it goes. But
I
it's pretty-
understand. I feel you. It's so frustrating when you can't find something.
I've got to put the latch for this. I got this
Hey, you got your
a new canopy,
canopy.
and the latch goes right there where that hole is.
Yeah.
Your latch is going to look different than the latch that Brent Williams was using.
Oh
correct?
yeah, it's a lot different than his. I like his, but this one, yeah, it'll work great. But anyway, so I got to put the latch in, and I got to ream the prop out, and then it should be just about ready to go.
That's
How about
cool.
how about like a number drill or a letter drill?
Oh, I hadn't thought of that.
Yeah, that's what I usually do. I've got a whole bunch of letter drills with different diameters. I just
Uh-huh.
put that in my drill press and put the prop down on a nice level surface and go.
Well, I've got a set of metric drills and a set of standard drills.
Is this electric?
I'm sure there's one there that's
No, it's
gonna be-
IC, Steve.
Oh, isn't it like 1/4 inch? And
Yeah, I think it's 1/4 inch. It's a stalker. Oh, yeah, one other thing. I can't seem to find the needle valve for it. I had it. I know I had it. I've looked everywhere, put everything away. So I'll just take a needle valve from one of my other stalkers and order a new one.
Yeah.
You go to sit down hard, you'll find it.
Mark,
Yeah, it'd be the last place you look.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Mark,
It's
what'd you
Lynn
call
Burrell
those?
question. Lynn, did you go to the bean field and fly lately?
We flew yesterday. Stuart and I flew yesterday, and another one of our guys. The three of us flew. Yeah, it was pretty good. Hey, Stuart.
So what did you fly?
What did I fly? I flew a combat ship, and I flew what else did I fly? I flew a 10 powered ringmaster, junior ringmaster, and
Nice.
I flew an old stunter from a guy who used to be one of our top guys years ago. He's still with us, but he's not in very good shape. So I flew his airplane, but it has a tank problem. So I think I'll have to put a new tank in it, possibly.
hey, Len,
Yes.
I had a bone to pick with you. On the news last night, it said that cold Canadian air was coming in, and I want you to take that back.
Oh, I'll see what I can do.
We said it for you.
Oh, there we go. Dennis Adamison has a solution for you, John.
Well, that's not what I need. The whole
He needs to make it bigger, not smaller.
Yeah.
What you need is just to get a 3/8 drill all your props out to 3/8 and get a bucket of these from APC. Ask nice, they'll send you a bucket full for pretty much for free. And you can make it fit anything. You could even take that prop and put it on an electric motor someday. So
Yeah. Well, I made a buy. I've got about a dozen of those Zor 13.6s and about a half a dozen 13.5s and some 12.5s.
How big a motor did you put on that thing? 13.6,
That's a Stalker 66.
66.
Perfect. 13.5,
gonna be idling.
13.6 should be fine. Yeah.
That thing's gonna be idling.
700 RPM or 7,000 RPM.
That sucker won't strain at all.
No.
That's a lot of power. I tell you what, if I were going to fly, if I had to pick one motor to fly and fly just one motor, I'd have to pick a Stalker 76. That's the best motor I've ever flown. Best motor I've ever flown. I mean, I love my PAs, don't get me wrong, but man,
They're,
that thing.
they're
easy
two
to
different
start.
worlds between the PAs and the Stalkers.
Yeah, but when you can take a plane and just take your finger and instead of having to put something on your fingers and you make sure, gloves or that rubber thing I use and really flip it and get your fingers out of the way. This thing, you just say, just don't even worry about it. And it starts first flip. It's the most ridiculous engine to start I've ever had. I've
Well,
never
they're
had any
they're
and
nice
zero
engines.
nitro.
They're nice engines, and I was glad to see that the Takeoff, is that his name?
Yeah.
I'm glad to see he's so far so good, and he's back
Yeah.
producing.
I was glad to hear that too. That was a surprise because I'd heard his factory was destroyed, and then apparently not.
I'm glad to hear it because his factory was right there where that big plane was destroyed.
Yeah.
Well, they said that the tanks were rolling in front of his factory, but they must not have stopped or whatever.
Wow.
Maybe they flew Stalker motors.
Or maybe they were control line flyers,
Yeah.
That's it. Maybe that's it.
Are you talking about Andre Yatsenko?
No, it's Ruslan.
Oh, okay. Andre lives in the same neighborhood. Had some correspondence with him lately, and then I hadn't heard from him for a couple of weeks, and I'm worried about him.
Oh, I hope he's okay.
Where's he at, Howard?
Kiev.
Kiev.
Oh.
Factory.
Is he the guy that Lockheed got all those combat planes from?
No. He makes stunt planes and
Oh, okay.
Discovery Retro engine.
Oh, those are nice engines too. Well, Jimmy Rhodes has one on that this Discovery aircraft that he bought some years back, and they run best on their side apparently. So it's side mounted, but it looks great, runs great.
My favorite motor right now is that K77.
You like that, huh?
I really like that K77. I just tickled pink with it.
Lots of horsepower out of that thing.
Unbelievable.
Well,
It pulls around that 70. It pulls around that 70-ounce Cardinal like it's nothing.
Yeah, yeah. That's the nice thing about
oh yeah,
a pipe motor. They've
well, it's not a pipe. It's a muffle. It's a muffler.
You got a muffler on it?
Yeah, just a muffler.
I couldn't believe how good it ran. It just purred. Howard's ready for another contest, it looks like.
Yeah, they're going to the Raiders
go the roundup. Got all the tabulation stuff and
What car is that, Howard?
It's a Honda Odyssey.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say that didn't look like a Tesla unless you got another one.
No.
Are you and Tim are leaving tonight or early in the morning?
Early in the morning.
Very
I
like those benches. Those are nice and convenient.
Yeah. This is a little more convenient.
Very good.
Oh, I do that with this one too.
Maybe. See if there's minimum.
Well, I'm gonna get off. Hey, Dennis, I'll get a hold of you. Sorry, it cost you a whole day of flying, and especially when you drove that far and stuff like that. But
I don't mind any of that. I'm still trying to figure out what the heck happened. So I may be onto something. I'll get together with you here maybe tomorrow. I'll give you a call.
Well,
But
maybe if you got a chance, you can test out some propellers. I mean, there's a ton of different ones there, and you know,
I kind of put it aside for the time being. I'm going to get back to it. I took it
I'm
all
just
apart.
thinking, even test some of them propellers on some of your other airplanes.
Yeah, I took it all apart to try to get all the stuff out of it, and I saw the motor mount was crushing and stuff. I got an idea. I think I can put some crush tubes in it and stuff like that, and rejuvenate it a little bit. I think it'll help. So,
Hey, Steve, before you push off, do you happen to have a plane with the flap with the trim tab that you did on Samantha's airplane? Do you have something you can show me? Right behind you by chance?
No, I may have it downstairs.
Okay.
Talk about the gurney flap?
No,
No.
Go ahead, Steve. Explain
I
to me.
just took some 16-inch white tape, like and I think it was just for some kind of striping tape for a car or something. I don't even know where I got it. And I just taped that on there and made trim tabs, like fake trim tabs when I did a airplane. But if I find it, I can God, that's a really old airplane. I can take a picture and send it to you too, Charles.
I was just curious where it should be. I'm not familiar with how a real airplane, prototypically where it would be. Would it be halfway the span of the flap, or would it be on the toward the outside of it? I was just curious where the placement.
I put them so far out on the elevators, and I'm trying to remember where I put it on the. I just picked a spot on the flap and stuck it on there.
I just don't want to put them on my plane and someone goes, "That's stupid. You're supposed to be over here."
That'll happen anyway.
I put them in fairly close, I mean, I'm trying to remember on a real Cessna, that trim tab is probably in the inside third.
Yeah.
Of the elevator on the.
What is that white airplane, Steve?
Oh, that's a Tom Morris
Cavalier, probably.
Cavalier, yeah. That's that one that I just get upset with, and I just should have painted. I was trying to get a.
I'd like to have $1 for every Cavalier that man built.
I built that one.
Yeah, but I'd like to have $1 for every one he built.
Yeah.
At one time he had what was it, 32 of them he was putting together at one time, one Christmas. Remember the thing in Stunt News? He said what my little shop gave to me.
Yeah.
He's the most prolific builder I've ever known. And he could put a bunch of airplanes together.
Yeah, I bought the blocks from him and all that kind of stuff, but yeah, I think I'm gonna get. It's gonna be heavy, but because I kept trying to get all the blemishes out and this and that, and add more primer, and I think
I hope you didn't use that darn primer from Harbor Freight. Just about time you get it all finished and you think it's done, and you're spraying your clear coats on. Here comes a big patch of gray right through your white. Happened to me, and that'll break your heart.
You don't blame the white. You blame the primer, not the white paint.
Well, I mean, I don't know what to blame, but whatever it is, the gray come through. And Don, what the heck's his name, Mike? Don, the commander
Jenkins.
Don Jenkins. Don Jenkins Vector did it. Thing was beautiful, and in the darn primer, you can see a streak of gray through it, gray primer through it. And Don is not known for being light on his paint. He does some heavy paint jobs, but he does some beautiful paint jobs. And Don's a pretty good flyer too.
John Paris did 3 airplanes with that, and he loved it.
No,
I love the original stuff, but the second stuff.
Yeah, that's Brodak primer. I wanted white.
What would happen on that Harbor Freight stuff if you used a blocking coat like a polar gray or something like that? Before you
I think it probably been all right. Yeah, I didn't do that. I just put the gray on and put the white over top of it. And it came through and just kind of broke my heart on that one. But anyway, it's all right.
That's
Live and
why
learn.
I'm like, I don't know why people don't use the Brodak white primer. If you're
Too
gonna go
heavy.
over with white, it takes a whole lot less white paint to cover white than it does to cover gray.
Well, I tell you, I learned something from Sparky. If you will tint your clear when you're building the plane, if it's going to end up white, tint your clear with a good shot of white, about an ounce of white to a quart of paint.
Yep.
And then just do the whole plane with that. When you go to paint the thing white, you don't need a blocking coat. You just put one coat of white on and it's white.
Exactly.
Okay, when it goes up in the sun, you might can see some light coming through the wing. I'm not going to tell you it's going to be totally opaque, but you can't see through it. You might see light through it. It might not look as good as in that particular situation, but it's a heck of a lot lighter. Because I've always used
Right
polar
on.
gray and white mix and done a blocking coat with polar gray and white mix, sand that down, hold it up to the sun, and if you see anything through it, put a second coat on.
So you're putting a tinted clear over primer?
No, not using any primer. The whole thing, when you, from the first coat of paint that goes on the bare wood, it's clear with we'll start out with a quart of clear.
That's
and I
right.
put an ounce of white in it. It's tinted. And by the time you get to where you put the tissue on, that wood's already starting to look kind of white. But then when you when you cover it, you get 4 coats of, when you put 4 coats of white on of
So
clear.
you have to be good enough that you don't need primer. Because once you squirt primer on it, that just killed
Well, a
whatever
coat of
color
white,
your clear is.
a coat of white will one coat of white over this thing, and I had a white airplane. And I'm not that good with paint, Steve.
All right.
It
I was
just worked
saying,
out.
I always got to use primer and putty and shit to fix things. And, once you put gray primer on,
Then you got to have a primer coat. Yep.
then you got to cover primer. So I was like, I guess you can recover easy on places you didn't have to use primer, but that's why I use white primer. So, it's just a deal. Instead of trying to cover gray, you're covering white.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I guess I got lucky on that one, but I started doing it the way Sparky says.
I agree.
I had said for years, if Sparky ever wins the concours, I will listen to what he says. But until he puts on enough clear to win the concours, I'll take him with a grain of salt. Well, he won the concours, so I'm doing it Sparky's way.
I always,
And it's light.
Yeah, it is light.
when I put a primer on, no matter what color it is, I sand almost all of it off.
No, I do too.
Then that's
But
why
I
I
tell you
use a
what.
blocking coat.
I tell you what, I'm on this Pathfinder I'm doing now. I say I'm doing it Sparky's way, but on this Pathfinder I'm doing now, I'm planning to do it John's way and Dennis's way. It's going to be film because that sucker's electric.
Yeah.
The fuselage will be rattle can, but the wings and tail are planned to be monocoat or Econocoat actually. But I don't think it's going to take me any longer to monocoat one and do it the way I want to do it than it does to paint one. Because I've got 6 airplanes downstairs. All they need is painting. Let's get them something other than white and get them clear coated and let's go flying. 6. Yep. And that's down from 9, folks. I'm making progress, but not near enough.
You're getting through them.
You're making progress. Hey, that's good.
You betcha.
Hey, that's great.
I'll tell you, I've lost total faith in rattle can. I had 4 planes I did in rattle can this spring and the paint was peeling off in sheets.
Oh,
Just
really?
terrible. Oh, just terrible. I'm going
Sorry
back
to hear
to
that.
all dope. All dope. No more of this rattle can crap. I give up on it. I can't make it work. See, well, I try to get a finish underneath with clear dope and get it nice and smooth and nice, and then I spray the rattle can on after, and I'm not getting any adhesion.
Yeah.
It's not biting. Whereas I pull it off in sheets. I can take it off in 15 minutes just pulling at it, get it all right off, right back down to the clear dope, and then
Oh, Lord.
then what I did with my fuselages were black. I just black doped them with a brush.
What-
Just brushed them on black dope. They're beautiful, no problem. Good adhesion, looks nice, done.
Well, that's because you're chemically, you didn't get a bond between whatever the paint
Yeah.
was. It didn't etch into the coat underneath it. So it laid on top of a smooth coat of
Surface.
paint.
But
Now-
if I sand, but if I etch the top of the surface, then the surface is cracked. It's not smooth anymore.
I know.
How do I? So that then you got to lay on more paint.
The
to get
problem
it-
is
yeah.
that the reason why the dope worked so well, Lenny, was because
It's
it
dope on dope. Yeah.
chemical composition.
Yeah,
as your
exactly.
undercoat.
Yeah, exactly. You're right. And that's exactly what I found out this year. It was heartbreaking. I had these beautiful finishes. They look gorgeous. And then I go flying the first time and I see all this paint coming off around the nose of the airplane.
That's heartbreaking.
Terrible. So what I did is I peeled all the paint back all the way back to the end of the doublers. It seemed to stick not too bad where the balsa was, but where the plywood doublers were, there was no adhesion at all. Like on a profile, it was awful. So I just peeled it all off, right back to the back of the doublers, give it a light sanding and brushed on the black dope.
You know, I've seen planes that do that. Now I know what happened.
Yeah. Just not getting the chemical bond.
Yeah, I have a comment from P. Taylor. He says, I'm using acrylic airbrush paint. Cretex has some awesome colors if your electric dope is not needed.
That's true. That's one of the nice things about electric is you got a lot more choices for finishing now.
Use watercolor.
Yeah, you can use watercolor. Yeah.
I've got some I've been thinking about using. That the stuff that John sent me, you thin it with water.
Yeah.
And I'm
I'll
thinking
see
about
everybody
using that on a
later. I got to get up
All right.
early in the morning and stuff. I just wanted to get on and
Thank
tell
you, Steve.
Dennis,
We'll see you,
know,
Steve.
Stay out of trouble,
find
Steve.
out anything.
Take
So,
care,
I'll
Steve.
send you some more cold air.
yeah, thanks. Hey, on the way home tonight at 5 o'clock, it was 47 degrees.
Beautiful. I can
Oh,
do,
Lord.
don't worry, I can do better than that. Give me a
Oh,
couple of weeks.
All I know is it was
Here I
75
thought
yesterday.
Len was my friend, and he sent
Good
me
night.
all this cold air.
Good night, Steve. Lots of blankets.
It was 75 yesterday and it was 55 today for the
Wow,
high.
what a
So
change.
We started out this morning at 55 and went to 77.
yeah.
Ah, you
So-
big bunch of babies. I still got my shorts
right.
on. Come on. Still working in shorts.
Ah, geez.
Yeah.
Lenny,
That's okay.
thing of it is, Lenny, when you come down here, you'll be sweating.
Oh, I know I will. Exactly. I would be. Big time.
Yeah.
Well, you guys, we're going to be ending the live stream. Thank you very much for coming in. I appreciate it. Don't forget, we still could use super chats and likes. Likes don't cost you a thing. And so if you're watching this as a replay, you hit the like button. Won't cost you a penny. And I want to wish everybody a great weekend and have some time to go in your shop or we're flying and come back and tell us all about it Monday. And so we will see you back Monday. Take care. Bye. See you.